One. Welcome back to the egg carrier gets fucked again.
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 And
No
at
more
first, when I
agains.
saw these cutscenes, I just thought that, like, Big Knuckles, Tails, and Amy flying away was just a static PNG. But now actually
No.
seeing it, they're just models overlaid on top of the FMV.
Yeah.
And once again, Amy's skirt is just kind of missing.
It's fine.
It's fine. Well,
She gets it back anyway.
It's probably because like the skirt is just a single flat textured polygon, and the camera angle is just wrong enough.
Yeah,
where it
that
looks
would
like
make
it doesn't
sense.
exist.
Oh man.
I do find it somewhat odd. I mean, it makes sense in terms of, okay, yeah, like, expectations kind of things, but, like, the male Sonic characters can just go around wearing nothing to just shoes and gloves, while all the girls need to have, like,
Actual
wardrobes.
outfits. Like even in Forces.
Yeah, even in Forces! Like, dude... There's,
even in
one of the
Forces.
first mods that came out for it was to remove the damn bodysuit for women. Like, it's like one of those weird, like, I understand, but
why?
these are fictional furry creatures. I don't really think it matters.
Sally Acorn, enough said.
Oh yeah, Sally Acorn. Like,
early.
Archie reboot.
Yeah.
Except for
Yeah,
I kind of did like her post-reboot design.
I don't really have a favorite either way.
Yeah. I mean, but this is going off of me, like, only seeing, like, artwork of it, and again, not reading any of the comics.
True. Oh, man. I assume this part is finishing up Amy's story? And
Yes, it is. Dealing with,
Then
Final Egg Sandwich, and then Zero for one last time.
And then going into depression. That is again. Or is that next part?
Next part is robotic depression.
You had it.
Because the game wants you to play Big Story next. No.
But no.
No.
Delay the inevitable.
Delay the inevitable. Which, thankfully, I think Big is only, like, what? 2 parts? So.
4 stages? It's 4 stages and a boss.
Yeah, it's 4 stages and a boss. Those stages are a lot longer than they need to be, which means they exist, but...
The boss, which we will get to.
I mean, at least the boss is... I didn't find the boss that hard, but again, Big Story just shouldn't have existed in the first place.
He has the most important story element. It is perfectly legitimate now.
It is perfect. It is 100% fine. Big gets the most important cutscene.
Especially since you can actually use the Dreamcast fishing pole peripheral. It's Big's game. It's Big game.
I mean, it's one of those things where I'm like, of course they did that in my head, where I find being able to use the actual fishing pole is more of a cool Easter egg than it was a marketing tactic. Even though a few parts earlier, I was like, so they just put an advertisement in Sonic Adventure.
Yeah. They literally just put an advertisement in Sonic Adventure.
Which then again goes to my unanswered question, well, was there a Sonic and Sega Bass Fishing? Which was a completely different gameplay style that completely ruined the game. Well, it didn't ruin the game, but you know what I'm saying.
If we're counting fan games, Big Fishing Adventure,
Big's Fishing Adventure.
That's that close enough for you?
Fine. I actually the most I've ever seen of those are from is Big's Fetching Adventure a thing that's at Sage or Hacking Contest?
Hacking, I believe.
Or I believe it started out as hacking contest, and now it's a Sage entry because now it's actually its own thing.
Yeah. Now it's evolved past just being a simple...
It's evolved past being the meme.
Yes. Oh, man. Also, Zero, you're not reaching us.
Yeah.
You're not reaching anything like
jump,
that.
He can jump pretty fucking high for being, like, a hunk of metal, but...
And, you know, not having any lower limbs.
Well, yeah, he floats, so it could probably be made some sort of, like,
high...
excuse, being, like, some sort of, like, propulsion kind of shit.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Now I waste time opening all the doors because I can.
That's fair.
At least Zero ain't chasing you around.
Yet.
Oh, it's the wrong one. I just don't even go in it.
This is the wrong room.
This is the wrong room. Have an enemy that can't do anything to hurt you unless if you're a dumbass.
You could literally ignore the enemy.
Yeah, you can. It's a flying enemy that doesn't pursue you. Like, that enemy is literally just homing attack fodder.
It just stands there. Not even menacingly. Just stands there.
Now this section, I don't really have to complain too much, but I don't like that Amy can't do her flip attack until, you know, she's holding her hammer out while she's running, because most of the time I just stop dead in my tracks and...
Whack the ground?
Whack the ground.
You're just getting it, like, a second too early, from what I could tell.
Yeah. Also, is there ever a reason why these balloons are just here in the first place? Like, is this style balloon ever seen again?
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
I mean, I get it. It's Amy trying to escape Zero, but, like, it also brings into the question, why are these balloons here in the first place? Asking outside of the question of, you know, just game logic.
I think it is just game logic. Like, why are there signposts at the end of every level in the Genesis era?
Yeah. Asking the real questions.
Asking the real questions.
Gron. That's his full name, by the way. I'm just kidding. Or the
formerly
SS.
known as Gron. Oh, man. Now you gotta run all the way over.
So yeah, now you gotta run all the way through the... Now, some extra NPC dialogue is that, you know, explorers are here to try and find, like, the actual ruins, which is, you know, where Lost World is.
And but we pass it how many times?
Yeah, that guy right there is lost. Which I understand, it's easy to get lost in this area, but it's not so big where it's a problem. But it's also not big enough to where the point of the little side story point that the explorers couldn't find the goddamn ruins, you know, the ones you see when you're at the top of the ladder, and their expedition got canceled because they couldn't find them.
Yeah. It's a little contrived, but, like, gameplay.
I understand gameplay comes over story in some aspects, especially when it's literally just flavor text, but it's kind of funny.
But it's flavor text that's meant to help build the world that they're establishing, because, again, soft reboot.
Yeah.
The train headed for Station Square will be departing soon.
Now I just need to go through and watch that one video where Cyber plays through the entirety of Adventure 1 talking to every single NPC when their text changes.
I have not seen that video yet.
It's on his, like, tertiary channel, and it's extremely long.
That sounds about right. And now we're on to Final Boss.
Yep. Yeah, why would I get the extended hammer power-up where when you go to the egg carrier right away... I mean, maybe if you go to the egg carrier before you go to final egg, but what's the point of coming over here? Because as soon as you come over here, it triggers the final boss after you do final egg.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't mentioned this yet. I hate Amy's theme in this game.
Yeah.
It's as annoying as she is.
True. But at least she doesn't sound like Minnie Mouse yet.
Yeah. Okay,
Keep in
I
mind
understand
I said
the
yes.
side of the screens were supposed to hide that she smacked Zero off screen, but the widescreen ruined that. She just swung her hammer at the air. And also,
It's
again, more
fine.
game logic, but the way she holds it makes it look like that it weighs, like, nothing.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's just a mass of polygons. It really doesn't weigh anything. And also, welcome to smack the guy into the ring 3 times and you win. Which is like the easiest.
Do you die
it's-
here?
No, I don't.
Good.
Yeah, this is one of the easiest bosses. I mean, Tails' boss is pretty easy, but this is literally just hit the guy and jump. Because what other attacks does he have besides the ground pound?
I think if you are bad at the game, he like shoots lasers around or something.
Yeah. I mean, in
It's
terms
been a
of like
while.
an actual like boss fight, you kind of actually need to get the pattern of. Gamma's boss fight is actually pretty decent.
Yeah,
And
that's a boss fight. Well, then again,
Yeah,
Gamma
and-
is just a series of boss fights.
yeah. And then
Birds.
Please wake up, Birdie.
this scene is supposed to be like emotional with the music, but because this game does no like sound mixing, it's just fucking hilarious. Because the bird flies off, music stops, and it falls. Like, that's just peak comedy. Like, you can't tell me that just completely ruined the entire scene. Okay, yeah, fine, the bird comes back up, but the music stops, and it just falls like a brick.
And then then it's literally just Amy saying goodbye. Then it instantly cuts to her theme, where she's just like, "I'm gonna get Sonic next time." And I don't even know what
Yeah,
that
the
voice
entire
was.
relationship dynamic between Amy and Sonic is a annoying one.
I mean, I understand that the idea is pretty much the opposite of Mario.
Uh-huh. It is
But-
super annoying in Heroes, though.
I mean,
Like, Amy is like Sonic horny the entire fucking time.
the entire game.
The entire fucking game. And I should know, because when I was a kid, I can only get past
Through.
Team Rose's story.
Aww.
Because their story is like the easy mode of the game.
It is the easy mode of the game. And that's Amy's story.
And there we go, that's Amy's story. Yeah,
Do we
it
have
was...
to sit through the credits?
I don't know why. The only credits I actually ever skipped are, like, E102 Gammas. And that was just because if I kept them in, I think it went a little over the limit that I would have liked to make a video. It's weird. I should have just skipped these.
You should have just made an
Skip these
entire.
credits.
You should have made a true finale part where we just sat through
It's just
all
the
7
credits.
credit sequences.
Just like how Find the Computer Room, they edited out all of the Sonic 06 loading times, but then they shoved them all in
Had a
together in
final
a final
part.
part that was like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And they commentated over the
Whole
thing.
thing.
And
I
also
mean-
the entire time there was also just the beginning riff of what the hell is that song? Oh
my God, that's right.
That was the entire time.
Sounds about right.
Man, Smoothies is a god among men.
Indeed.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of story importance, Amy's only really important for the goddamn
Amy
Chaos
is
Emerald.
Kinda just there.
And
Yeah.
And
I mean,
she
so
has,
is Big.
like, it's okay she has, like, her own independent story, because at least the independent story doesn't involve chasing down a goddamn frog.
But
And
I mean,
her
it involves...
playstyle does...
Her playstyle actually is pretty decent. It could have been expanded
Yeah, her
upon pretty well.
playstyle, yeah.
At least
It
that's how I
doesn't
see
deviate
it.
too far away from, you know, the action platforming. Because it's not as much action, but it's still platforming.
It's more puzzle platformer than action platformer.
Yeah, puzzle platform is actually the right way to say it. I mean, again, it's only about like 45 minutes because the problem when it comes to like making a game with split storylines like this is that essentially you still
Everyone
want
needs
like
to
a
be
decently long game, but you also don't want it to be too overbearingly long. Like, this game would be way too long if every person's story was like 2 hours.
And you also have to keep everyone at some level of importance to have the incentive to play their story. Which is why people hate Big the Cat, because he does literally nothing to the main plot except give
Nothing
one
to the
crucial
story.
cutscene. He gets the most important cutscene, that's it.
That's it. And I mean, that's probably what they did to compensate for the fact that he literally has
literally
no
nothing.
significance to the outside plot as possible.
He literally just chases Froggy. Froggy is more important than Big.
Yeah.
Ay.
Yeah. So
But
yeah.
Amy's alright. It's just there.
Yeah. Again, like the second half of the roster of Sonic Adventure are kind of like just their characters.
Just there to help fill out the runtime, expand
Yeah.
upon the story.
Yeah, I mean, it's good
Like,
for the
show off
expanding
with the-
upon the story and also extending the runtime, because if this game was just Sonic's story, then this would be just like a 2-hour game, and that wouldn't have flown. So,
Yeah. And plus it
even
also
though
helps.
it's a very enjoyable 2 hours, at least in my opinion,
Yeah.
it is still pretty short.
But as well, the alternate playstyles also help show off what the system, the Dreamcast, was capable of.
Yeah, that's true, because this game
Like-
had to also function as a tech demo, didn't it?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why we had the fishing minigame that's compatible with the fishing controller.
Okay, the tech demo part, now it makes like Big Story make like 0.5% more sense, but still. I mean, I understand like Chaos being a water monster because they wanted to show off like the transparency effects. I mean, and
Which is
that was
still pretty
already
cool.
cool enough as it is.
Yeah.
But then all the systems that they ported it to later on after the Dreamcast had a hard time with transparency. So it kind of
Botched everything.
botched everything.
Also, that bag still has a bottom. Yet it's like things are spilling out of the bottom.
Oh, I thought they were spilling out over the top. But why would...
No, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be spilling out of the bottom. That's what it looks like to me, at least.
Alright, so... Yeah, that's Amy's story.
Next time,
Decent
time
part,
on-
and now it's all downhill from here. Except for not downhill. Like, Gamma's playstyle is fine. I mean, it's the one that did
Yeah.
transition over into Sonic Adventure 2. So...
but we'll get to that next time.
Oh, yeah! Alright, I'm going to go grab something quick to make sure that I don't take hunger damage.